on Egghead Island. Now, before we can get into talking about this Luffy versus Kizaru fight here on Egghead, we need to talk about how this fight even came to be today. And to do that, we need to go all the way back to episode 401. In this episode, we are introduced to Kizaru for the first time, and man, what an insanely dope way to introduce a character. The dude came onto the damn island riding a goddamn cannonball, and when it exploded on impact, it left the entire area engulfed in flames. Then, Kizaru comes out walking ever so casually out the flames, trying to get his damn transponder snail to work. Bro is just standing there in a field of death and destruction that he caused, trying to find a signal like, can you hear me now? And as he's trying to find said signal, he is surrounded by pirates, all with bounties over 100 million berries. But it's not really a problem for Kizaru, obviously. You know, bro's an admiral and a Logia type. He just nonchalantly and effortlessly packs all their asses up. And mind you, Kizaru is doing this all within like the first 3 minutes he's even on the island, right? And he's still just trying to get his damn phone to work. I know all the delicious succulent aura that Kizaru farmed right there just has Shanks and Mihawk stressing somewhere in the Grand Line. Like, they're literally being challenged by a dude that's completely oblivious to the fact that he's even competing with them. But Kizaru's time spent on Sabaody Archipelago pre-time skip had to be like peak One Piece at the time, and he did a lot of crazy stuff on this island, especially with the beginning part with all the people we had to fight and everything. All of that stuff deserves a video on its own, so we're gonna have to skip past all that, even though I can talk about it literally all day. So let's skip to the part where Luffy and Kizaru first meet. When Luffy and Kizaru first meet, it's after all the Straw Hats are completely worn out from the all-out fight they just had with a single pacifista. That's right, a single pacifista had all of the Straw Hats worn out like they just fought an actual warlord. That's how weak they were back then. And honestly, I think that pacifista was like a prototype. So that pacifista was literally inferior to the pacifistas we see 2 years later. It's just crazy how friggin' weak they were back then. But yeah, they just went through a lot of shit with that pacifista, and then right after they just went through all that shit with that pacifista, Sensumaru and another one pop up and start fucking their shit up again. And this time it's real bad because they have like no stamina left and they're currently incurring a lot of damage. Right, Zoro's still fucked up from everything that happened on Thriller Bark. Luffy is getting his ass beat by Sensumaru, and the pacifista is just shooting lasers at everybody. They're trying to run away from these people, but they just can't get away. And it's right when things gonna get more worse for them, Kizaru pops up, and then one-shots Zoro. That's right, Kizaru one-shots Zoro when they first meet. And then right after he shoots Zoro, he quite disrespectfully puts his dirty ass shoe on his back and tries to finish him off. But of course, Kizaru doesn't get his opportunity to finish off Zoro because Dark King Silver's Rayleigh comes flying in to kick his light beam away. And why don't you look at the way that Rayleigh flew in and kicked away that light beam? It kind of looks a little bit similar to something we just saw Luffy did. Really symbolic, hey? Pretty neat. Thank God Rayleigh came in at that time to save Zoro. Even if Zoro didn't die from that, I just couldn't see my dog get done that dirty. Like, the man put his damn loafers on his back and was about to shoot him in the damn head. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Show the nigga some respect. Bro had a 120 million berry bounty on his head at that time. Don't treat him like he's just some garbage pirate. Those was big numbers back then. Then after that, nothing really happens with Kizaru. He, of course, fights Rayleigh for a while, but Rayleigh's just trying to keep him away as the Straw Hats are trying to run away, but they obviously unsuccessfully are able to do so. Kizaru just served to be this overwhelmingly powerful force that the Straw Hats just couldn't stand up to. If it wasn't for Rayleigh showing up and fending Kizaru off, allowing Bartholomew Kuma to pop all the Straw Hats away to safety, yeah, these boys would have been absolutely cooked, okay? Everybody would have been done for. Robin would have been captured. Everybody with a bounty would have been captured. The whole crew done right there and then. And now Luffy even gets very lucky later on too at the Paramount War because Kizaru had so many opportunities to kill him. But now 2 years later, things are different. Luffy and his crew have leveled up to Yonko status and are sick and tired of running away from admirals. Hell, actually, Luffy stopped running away from admirals before he even reached Yonko status. And now here we are today on Egghead Island, and Luffy and Kizaru see each other for the first time after 2 years. And with how this whole fight started off, you can tell Luffy has just been waiting to meet up with the OG 3 admirals, because he did not hesitate at all to pick a fight with Kizaru as soon as he saw it. Luffy starts this fight off with a very symbolic and powerful Conqueror's Haki kick that Kizaru has to block. Like, look at the way my nigga just spins in here. Like, Luffy styled the hell out this kick for no reason. All right, he wanted Kizaru to know, boy, I'm built different now. And I know on impact, Kizaru felt that immediately, because Kizaru had to block this kick with both arms. I emphasize on both arms because as of lately, when it comes to physical attacks, Kizaru has been capable of blocking everybody's attacks with one arm. He blocked Marco's attack with one arm, and then he blocked Sentomaru's attack with one hand. Like, Kizaru was making these niggas look mad weak, but as soon as Luffy put his boot on his ass, that boy said, oh, I need both my arms today. And man, as Luffy's kicking him, he looks like a damn demon. That face just screams, yeah, I've been waiting for this, you sparkly punk ass bitch. Promise you, by the end of this, I'm gonna knock your ass the fuck out. And now the fight is on. And right out the gate, I'm a little bit disappointed with this fight, because me personally, okay, I was really hoping that Luffy would show his progression over the years when he was fighting Kizaru. Like, I was hoping he would start off at base form and then, you know, go up in gears as they fight. Like the way they started the fight with Luffy kicking him in base form at that, I love that bit about it. I thought we were gonna get Luffy and Kizaru tussling with him in base form for a minute there. You know, can like base form Luffy keep up with Kizaru? I don't know. And now we really won't know. Like, you can't tell me it wouldn't have been cool to see Luffy go from gear 2, 3, 4, and then 5 on Kizaru. That would have been dope, especially if he was throwing around shit like Red Hawks. Like, this fight would have been for real perfect if Luffy started whipping out the Red Rock attacks again. We seen him against Kaido, and that was it. But it is what it is. I'm still happy with what we got. Luffy started fighting him using Gear 4 Snake Man, and that's cool. I'm okay with that. That's good. But I have an issue with the way he was fighting in Snake Man form. For some reason, he looked very tired out using this form. I'm like, bro, this is Gear 4 Snake Man. You shouldn't be tired from this anymore. You're at Gear 5, Luffy. Come on, man. That shit looks weak. He didn't look this tired when he was using this form in the manga, so I don't know why he looks this tired out using it in the anime. But then again, that's the thing the anime loves to do. They just love to make Luffy look like he's extra fucking weak all the time, and it's really annoying. But it doesn't matter either way, because Luffy can't hit shit with this form. Luffy can block and dodge, but he can't hit Kizaru for shit. But Kizaru can for sure hit him. Kizaru flies probably 100 miles away from the island just to wind up the nastiest and most disrespectful kick I think we'll ever end up seeing in One Piece, or hell, any anime ever. That boy Kizaru zeroes in on Luffy in 0.000001 second and kicks the shit out of him. Bro got hit so damn hard he goes flying across half the damn island. And like, bro, I know if Kaido saw some shit like that, bro would be like, damn, whoever kicked that nigga? Like, real talk, he need to come square up with me right now. I need to fight him. He calling me out. Kaido would have lost his shit. And Luffy didn't just go flying. He went flying right into the Fabio Spear of Vegapunk's lab that's currently being protected by a force field of deadly lasers. Kizaru literally cooked this man with one kick and then proceeded on with his mission to go kill all the Vegapunks. And man, with the next thing Kizaru was about to do, he for real lost some love and respect from me, because the next person he chose to kick and send flying into that force field of deadly laser beams was Jewelry Bonnie. He didn't even hesitate either. He just kicked the shit out of Bonnie. And that's really fucked up, okay? Because Kizaru knows exactly who Bonnie is and exactly how old she is. He literally spent personal time with her for months. Hell, I think like a year or maybe 2 years. He spent like 2 years with this little girl, and without hesitation, he kicks the shit out of her into what he knows is a deadly force field of laser beams that are modeled after his own devil fruit power. So he knows exactly how deadly they are, and he just kicked her ass into them. Fuck her. Fuck that little girl, said Kizaru. She was a dick move, bro. You really didn't need to do that, Kizaru. You didn't need to. But it's cool, because Luffy finna get on your ass. Kizaru beams up to the lab to try and kill Vegapunk, but before he can, Luffy comes back in his Gear 5 giant form and snatches his punk ass up. And Luffy is an absolute beast for doing this too, because when Luffy went flying into the Fabio Spear the first time, he went shooting right back down to the ground. But then, the guy had to literally jump through the lasers again on purpose this time. And those lasers are no joke, okay? They hurt like hell. Luffy said it himself. He thought he was going to die. And here he is now, ready to fight an admiral. Crazy. And I don't really think Kizaru understands the predicament he's currently in, but he gonna find out. So giant Luffy snatches up Kizaru like he's an action figure. Then he winds him up and literally throws his ass off the island, flying towards the ocean, which is obviously not a good thing for a devil fruit user. But this is Admiral Kizaru we're talking about here. Like, just look at this corny ass nigga with his arms folded and one leg up, posing and spinning, flying over the ocean. The aura farming is crazy, but we're not impressed. We saw you sweating before you got thrown, Kizaru. Shanks and Mihawk are not impressed anymore. They're disgusted. I don't care how cool you make it look when you fly back into the fight. You're gonna need to do better than this, sir. Right here is where the fight gets a little bit weird, alright? So Kizaru returns back to Luffy and then turns on the light show. Bro pops up with like a million different light clones and then somehow forms a cloud out of them. Or something. A cloud pops up. It's weird. Like, the cloud forming right here really just doesn't make sense to me. But it's okay because Toei makes up for it. Alright? They throw like a couple hundred G's on the animation here. And Luffy and Kizaru just go crazy. Kinda. I say kinda because this scene is just silly as shit. Like, it's awesome. But when you slow things down and watch what actually happens, it's kinda hilarious. It's not kinda hilarious. It is hilarious. Like, just look at Luffy's face here. Even he doesn't know what the fuck is happening anymore. And when we go frame by frame, I don't even know if we can call this a fight anymore. I just look at this, alright? Kizaru makes a bunch of light clones that can't hit anyone for shit. Luffy's jumping around and dancing all over Kizaru's attacks, and he's just like not taking anything serious at all. Like, just look at him jump into Kizaru's arms for a second, like he wants him to hug him from behind or something. If you ask me, Luffy doing that to Kizaru is honestly a violation. And if I was Kizaru, I would have lit the entire area up like Vegeta did when he tried to kill Boo. But I gotta give this scene a pass because this has to be some of the best One Piece animation I think I've ever seen out the show. Like, I stopped watching the anime around the end of the Dressrosa arc and started reading the manga weekly. And I did that because I was just quite sick and tired of seeing all the still images and them dragging out like certain scenes to be like, you know, something that was supposed to be like a couple seconds, they'll make it like a couple minutes long, and it was just stupid. It was irritating. It was irritating as hell. But now this animation is impeccable. Okay, if they keep this shit up, I might just drop the manga. To be honest with you, I might just drop the manga, even though I'm obviously like way past the Egghead Island arc. Shit, I don't even care. I'll rewatch it. Keep watching it weekly from there. Luffy then ends the scene with the most beautiful Gum Gum Whip we've ever seen that kicks away all the light clones and smoke. But then for some reason Luffy chooses to go giant again, which had me, you know, shaking my head a little bit there, like, okay, Luffy, bad move. Because this time you're just a big ass target for Kizaru to shoot at. The decision you made there was pretty stupid. Then I remembered, Kizaru was stupid too. Because as soon as Luffy went giant, you know, he could have just made the conscious decision to just shoot volley after volley of light lasers at him. You know, one of these things cut Luffy's cheek when they're in the clouds, so you know they'll hurt him. So I don't know why he didn't choose to hit the bigger target with an endless amount of laser beams. He could have done some serious damage to Luffy, but he just chose not to. Instead, he just chose to run away from Luffy, like bro can't use light speed or something. At this point, Kizaru is fed up with the whole situation, and he's not really trying to fight Luffy because his whole mission is to just kill all the Vegapunks. And he wants to do that very soon before Saturn decides to show up on the island and start murking everybody. But Luffy is just making that too damn difficult. Somehow, it really doesn't need to be that difficult, Kizaru. Like, honestly, it'd be a lot easier if he just chose to fight with Luffy for a little bit. Like I said, he chose not to send volley after volley of lasers at him. The whole time he's fighting Luffy in this giant form, he's trying to freaking cut him with a light sword. Like, what are you doing, my guy? You're on his arm. Stab him. Shoot him. Fucking cut him. His body's everywhere. You got so many hit markers right now. Like, you got an endless amount of space to work with here, man. You're not using the Kizaru. Look, wherever Kizaru buys his weed at, I need that number because he's clearly too high to make good combat decisions right now. I know he made it seem like all this was just supposed to be one big diversion to get away from Luffy so that he can get to the lab and try to kill Vegapunk again. But
he could have did that while damaging Luffy at the same time.
But either way, his plan works. He gets away from Luffy and goes back to the lab. But this time, Vegapunk isn't there. Okay, Vegapunk decided, I'm not going to be put back in the situation where Kizaru can kill me again. So I'm going to leave this lab immediately because I'm pretty sure this is the first place he's going to look for me. And it was. Surprise, surprise. And all he found were a bunch of people that weren't Vegapunk. So then Kizaru and his excellent decision-making skills decided to snatch up Usopp and question him as he's holding his lips. Like, how the hell is he supposed to talk when you're holding his lips like that? Kizaru, come on, put him down. Kizaru then spots Vegapunk trying to run away in his tank. So Kizaru takes aim and fires a beam at him. But right before the beam hits, Luffy comes out of nowhere and just eats the damn beam. I don't know what the hell is up with Gear 5 Luffy, but it must make him psychotically hungry whenever he goes into Gear 5 because he's always trying to eat somebody when he's in that damn form. This beam, of course, does some damage to Luffy's insides. Light beams just go shooting out of every part of his body. You know that shit hurt because they literally animated his intestines being cooked. I don't know why Luffy's first thought was to eat it. Like, can hockey users not smack away devil fruit abilities like Kizaru's? I mean, Rayleigh was able to kick away his beam. Why hasn't Luffy tried that one time yet? No, he just chose to eat it. Whatever. Luffy and Kizaru then resume their normal fighting, where they just both keep dodging each other's attacks from a distance. I think at this point it's quite clear that Luffy and Kizaru are evenly matched in speed and evasiveness. Like, it just does not matter. Neither one of these dudes can hit each other. Luffy pulls off some pretty dope dodges though, I ain't gonna lie. Like, look at him dodge Kizaru's kick right here. Amazing. But it's at this point of the fight, Kizaru really needs to hurry this thing up before Saint Saturn comes along and takes a deadly stroll, which Kizaru feels like is gonna happen very soon. So instead of doing any fancy light tricks or diversions or whatever, Kizaru just says fuck it and runs away. I kid you not, he literally just ran away from Luffy. He's just like, oh, what do I do? So Kizaru runs away from Luffy and finds the Vegapunk party again and takes aim and fires at them. But by a hair's luck, he barely misses them. I kind of chuckled right here at this part because when Kizaru shot that beam and destroyed the island cloud that they were riding on, his response to it was him just saying, oops. Like, bro, you're trying to kill these people. Why are you acting as if you're doing any of this stuff on accident? Like, come on, dog. Get serious, all right? Be serious. This dude is ridiculous, and I love him so much. And right now, I kind of feel bad for Kizaru because I know he's about to be knocked out real soon here, and I don't blame him for all the things he's done so far. He's got a big mission to finish here, all right? He's dealing with forces beyond any comprehension right now, and he's got a lot on his plate, all right? Kizaru's dealing with a lot, and Luffy's making that a whole lot harder. Of course, Luffy has his own reasons, but, you know, Kizaru's just trying to do his damn job. Luffy comes right back into the picture right before Kizaru was about to land a finishing blow on the Vegapunk party yet again. Kizaru shoots a big-ass beam at him, causing him to spin around like the Tasmanian devil, and said spinning gave Luffy the perfect amount of wind-up for him to give the second most nastiest Gear 5 punch I think we will ever see. This punch has nothing on the Bajrang gun, but I know this shit could not have felt good to Kizaru at all. Luffy hits Kizaru with the beautiful Gum Star gun. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And when I first seen this in the manga, I said, okay, this is gonna look dope in the anime. And well, Toei really outdid themselves with this attack. See, they're usually in the habit of messing up like pretty much all of the best One Piece attacks, but this time they absolutely killed it. I love how nicely they pulled off the windup of the attack and how the attack looked in general. It looks like the Gear 5 version of the Red Hawk. Luffy's hockeyed up fist burns into a sparkling rainbow instead of fire. And when it makes contact, it friggin' melts Kizaru's entire head. I don't know how the hell Kizaru doesn't die from this or suffer brain damage in any way, because Luffy knocked his brain out of socket and stretched it like Play-Doh, melted his face, and sent him flying through several skyscrapers. Okay, bro was not okay. And quite frankly, Kizaru was lucky all it did was knock him out cold. Because anybody else, this would have killed him. Done. You're done. Even Kaido would have been floored for a little while after that attack. The star gun was just crazy. Crazy. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the rest of the fight. In the end, Kizaru got knocked the fuck out, and Luffy overexerted himself to the point to where even he's out of commission for a while. And it's kind of the worst time for it to be happening. It's kind of the worst time. And it's kind of the worst time for Luffy to be out of commission right now, because St. J. Garcia Saturn just showed up to the battlefield, and this guy is next level dangerous, okay? This man is a fucking demon, and he has unknown powers, and I'm pretty sure no one can handle him whatsoever. I already know what happens, of course, but I'm not going to spoil this for any of you anime-only people. But to give my final thoughts on this Luffy vs. Kizaru fight, if you even really want to call it that, it's mostly just a lot of Kizaru being chased around by Luffy, which is fine. It was still dope. Okay, we got a lot of very nice fight scenes out of this. It's just that I wish Kizaru was focused on fighting Luffy the entire time, which would have probably greatly benefited him, because honestly I think Kizaru could have got the upper hand on Luffy quite a few times, resulting in him, you know, getting knocked out of Gear 5 here and there. But Kizaru just didn't ever go for the one-hit KO or the incapacitating shot. He just kept trying to run away from Luffy the entire time so that he can complete his mission and kill the Vegapunks. So hopefully after Egghead, and I already know they're not gonna get into a real fight later on. So hopefully at some point in the One Piece story, we get somewhat of a real Luffy vs. Kizaru fight. Or maybe not. He might just end up joining him in the future or something. But hey, it is what it is. I wish we could have got more of Kizaru showing off his true abilities with his glint glint fruit powers. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. And I'm kind of really surprised that when it comes down to it, Luffy knocked out an Admiral with one attack. He OHKO'd Kizaru. One hit KO'd his ass. Like, because he didn't hit him at all until this point, and Kizaru was down for the fucking count. That just shows just how powerful Gear 5 is, and it's only going to get more powerful from there. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this Luffy vs. Kizaru fight in the comment section below. Leave a like if you like this video, and subscribe for the next one. I'll see y'all.